Clothes to me are an accent. Clothes are an accessory. Me today, I'm gonna go back. Like a star. Women buy as a sport. Men buy as necessity.
Welcome to At Work on Connected to India from India's leading fashion designer Arjun Khanna store here in Mumbai's iconic Kala Ghoda. My name is Himanshu Verma. I walked into Arjun's studio and instantly felt it, a space that exuded confidence and character. There was something about the ambience where even the most fashion challenged and the not so handsome would feel they are just one fitting away from looking awesome and complete transformation. In the world of high fashion menswear, few names carry the weight, assurance, and flair of Arjun Khanna. Over the last 3 decades, he's shaped landscape of Indians' men fashion. Arjun, welcome to At Work on Connected to India.
Thanks so much, Himanshu, for those very, very kind words.
Well, thank you very much for hosting us in this
Thanks
amazing
very
studio.
much. Thank you.
I meant every single word of it.
This is where I feel most comfortable, most at home.
Yeah,
And as you rightly said, this is an extension to my lifestyle. It's like a home. It's not really a store.
yeah,
And it's a bit of a man cave.
yeah,
You need to come in and just disappear.
yeah,
Clothes come in later.
yeah. I wouldn't say that I've constantly been in touch with the fashion world,
Right.
but I must say when I came in and I met you the last time as well, the vibe was fantastic.
Thank you.
And really enjoyed. So I agree with every single word of man cave and really comfortable place. In fact, talking about our last conversation, interestingly, you said that you've got a few clients in Mumbai who like Diljit Dosanjh's sense of style. And so I want to start. What did you think of what was he wearing at Met Gala? Him as well as Shah Rukh Khan.
So quite honestly, one, I must compliment India and us Indians who made a remarkable presence, and it was a presence that was beautifully felt and admired and looked at the Met Gala this year. However, I must say, very humbly, I really truly think Diljit Dosanjh has come a long way. Those few people that I mentioned last time
Right.
have become probably 1,000 people today, 1,000 more people in his favor. Personally, also, I thought his look was somehow just too cool for school.
Yeah.
You know, the guy does it with a flair. I don't think he realizes what he's doing.
Yeah.
He does it with a bit of a attitude without attitude.
Yeah.
I think he's a natural cadet. I mean, he's really good. He's solid with his art form.
Yeah.
He's risen from the ranks from nowhere and has become Diljit Dosanjh. I mean, I think he's a phenomenon. And if you remember looking at my room at the back,
Yeah.
it's full of Rajas and Maharajas reminiscent of past royal India. And he quite clearly did the job and looked like a little baby Maharaja of Patiala.
Right.
And I think he did a fantastic job carrying off his talwar and just the whole look. I mean, he had the confidence in doing so and the flair. And it was effortless. That's what I like most.
Yeah.
Shah Rukh is Shah Rukh. He's not King Khan for nothing.
That's
So whatever the hell he wears, he does it with the flair as well. He's Shah Rukh Khan.
Yes, yes. And I was in my introduction talking about the iconic Kala Ghoda, how this place has transformed completely. You've been here for a long time. Just tell for our NRI audiences and people and foreigners who are coming to Mumbai for tourism about the evolution of Kala Ghoda and why must they visit this place?
So, you know, historically, Kala Ghoda initially used to be right behind the biggest financial center of Bombay, which is the stock exchange, which is now moved. And gradually, all the little electrical stores and steel stores started becoming fashion stores. Fashion stores became cafes. And I think the initial one was Trishna, and then opposite that became Kala Ghoda Cafe, which is just below us.
Right.
Just like any big metro, there's a paucity of space in our city. Initially, it was around Strand and Kolaba. Gradually, I think about 4.5 years ago, which is when we came in, it all shifted to Kala Ghoda. And Kala Ghoda has now become this little fashion cafe, bar, hub of the city where it kind of all happens here. You've got the Taj Hotel, you've got the Taj Sea Face, you've got the docks here, you've got the naval docks here, you've got the museum around the corner. So it's a very sort of centralized, you've got Regal Cinema, you've got icons of Mumbai city around us. This little graduation and this little herd that shifted into this city and then from this city became Kala Ghoda,
Right.
it just happened by default. And now it's almost pedestrian if you see what they're doing here. So yes, I would say this has become like a little mini Santushti or Khan market of Delhi.
Right.
Bombay is much smaller. We have less space, um, and it's become almost first lane, second lane, third lane, and fourth lane. But all the bars, all the cafes, all the fashion designers, all the fashion brands have sort of become flagship in Kala Ghoda.
Right. Interesting. So, switching gears and talking about Arjun Khanna, the fashion designer. So,
That's always a tough one.
oh, really? See, already for men, men are way behind women when it comes to fashion consciousness.
Yes.
And you started 3 decades back.
Right.
At that time, I'm sure it literally did not exist. How did you get to think? How did you decide that you want to be a fashion designer, men's fashion designer at that?
That's actually a fantastic question. It's loaded. I mean, there's too much to get into.
Yeah.
I'll try and be really quick and concise. So when I first started as design, I had no idea I wanted to become a fashion designer. I love the arts. I love the art form. I love to draw. And all through school, it was either sports, cycling, or a lot of drawing. And I wanted everything that I wore or did to be unique. I couldn't even handle my uniform being a plain white shirt and white trousers. I came out of camping school, so I wanted even that to be unique. So I'd do a little turn up on the cuff on my shirt. I'd do a turnover on my pants. My tie would have a clip. There was something unique or different in every damn thing I did or wore. By default, over the years, I realized this, and I mean, I love clothes. I love clothes more than I think I do. And there is this thing called being a fashion designer. However, in those days, there wasn't a school or an institution to train men to become fashion designers. We only had SNDT and Sophia Polytechnic, which were both women's schools. And like any typical Punjabi family, everybody thought that, boss, you can't make your kid into a fashion designer being a darzi,
Correct.
And fortunately, I was blessed with parents who supported me, and I went into becoming, I'm cutting timelines here, becoming this fashion designer.
Right.
However, in those years when I first started off and I came back to India after my studies in the UK, it was easy for us because I think we paved the way for a lot of what is happening today. However, men in those days only knew brown, black, and navy blue, and a white shirt.
Right.
And they even wore white socks
Right.
with whatever the hell they wore. So it was the most boring thing to do. So it was fantastic educating this, and it was herd mentality.
Right.
A guy would come in, and if you're wearing a black jacket, black suit, navy, all the guys would want to stand out and be the same and not be standing out. Today it's different. Today men are wearing baby pink, they're wearing sky blue, they want to stand out. Men are into fitness, men are into grooming. So it's a different ball game. It's more challenging today. I don't think they're less informed than the woman. They're just more conservative in the buying. Women buy as a sport, men buy as necessity. So I get to spend a lot of time with men and understand the lifestyle of what they want to wear and how they want to wear it.
Do you sense that even that is changing with men buying as, for joy of shopping? Do you think that's changing?
Yes, you always have the odd guy coming in, but by and large, I won't be able to generalize that. I mean, I like to shop, but I shop vintage. I do vintage shopping. I like clothes which are probably uniforms. I like clothes which are denim. I like basically vintage or thrifting.
Right.
However, leave me aside. The average guy who comes in to shop, I don't think he shops. There are very few that will come in and shop for the fun of it.
Yeah.
They will I'd say 8 out of 10 guys would come in to buy for an occasion or for out of necessity,
Right.
as opposed to what a woman does.
Right. Right. So Arjun, dialing back to when you started your career and decided you're going to be designing clothes for men, at what point in time did you feel that you've made the right choice and you'll be making a lot of money? And of course, you've done very well for yourself.
Once again, Himanshu, thank you for those very kind words. Let me just reiterate that I'm not making lots of money. It's never been about the money for me. I think the artist in me will never leave.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
Sorry
that's
if it came out like that.
No,
you
no,
made
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
money.
no. I mean,
I
let
meant
me-
to say you've done well.
Well, again, even to answer that question sort of humbly and aptly, it's not a business for me. And I think that's what keeps me going and rolling every single day. I've never strangely thought about the money. Doing well, again, it's so relative.
That's true.
I think my raison d'etre to be in this industry or any field that I love to do is to wake up every morning and look forward to the day. Whether you're meeting a client, whether you're designing a new outfit, whether you're making a jacket, whether you're doing a new collection, whether you're having a show. I think that's what keeps me going and keeps me ticking. I'm a crap businessman. I don't know the business of fashion. I can see very clearly in the last 30 years or 31 years now, from the time we launched my label, which started off as a hand signed Dobby ink label on ribbon, into a woven label today. What I stood for then, I stand for today. It's just making beautiful clothes, making well fitted clothes, and getting up every day and learning that there will be a body type that will come which is going to be more challenging. And how do you fit this guy? And how do you make this guy walk out feeling like $1 million?
Right.
So once again, I reiterate, the artist in me is what keeps me alive and keeps me ever evolving. Again, to answer the larger question about doing well for yourself, I think it's very relative.
Yeah.
I honestly feel that the day you think you know it all, it's time to pack up and dig your own grave. I've been in the line 30 years. There are guys who've been in this line prior to me. There are labels who are 10 times bigger than all of us put together. So I think, again, that's very relative. It's what you are contributing to the industry. And what to me is the most beautiful thing to hear is when a client comes in today that I possibly dressed 25 years ago, who's saying, hey, listen, my son's getting married. My father, who's 90 years or 80 years old, are all getting ready for this guy's wedding. So you're dressing now 3 generations together.
Right.
And that to me is really something which makes me feel proud, because he said, you know what, Arjun, I love that outfit you did for me 25 years ago at my wedding. And I say, you're still wearing it. As long as your size doesn't change, the clothes are lasting, which to me is my trump.
Interesting. And how does it actually pan out? And you said you've got customers who've been running across generations, they've been coming back to you. So for you get a customer, they come and speak to you and say, can you design something for me? Or they come with preset notions, I want to look like Diljit Dosanjh. What's the whole journey like?
So there are multiple types of men that come in, or guys that come in, between somebody who's getting married. Today, marriage, if you've seen, they become destination weddings.
Right.
The entire wedding scene is completely flipped. So invariably there'll be a Sangeet night. Invariably there'll be Bollywood. Invariably there'll be a Daljit Dosanjh. He's singing because he's the flavor of the month, or flavor of the year, or flavor of the now.
Yeah.
So they want to look like him. His hit that he wore those Patiala shalwars. Every single kid that's on the block is getting married. He will make sure he'll doctor one function to look like him, and he'll make that the theme of the evening.
Right.
Earlier, this wasn't the case. However, yes, to answer the other question, most families come in where the kid is getting married, the father, and then all the men in the family want to do a certain look. And I will obviously work around body types, and then obviously honoring the theme that they've come with. But yes, it's a lot of custom made to order clothing, which is what I specialize in.
Okay. I'm going to switch gear and talk about the fashion sense amongst the NRIs, non-resident Indians living across the world. There is a sudden increase in the number of shows which happen around clothes, primarily women, across, say, Singapore or London or Sydney and New York and so on. But there is also this trend of the wives of all these women who are shopping for clothes and accessories, etc., asking for specialist clothes to be made for their husbands as well. Has this reflected in your business? Do you work with NRI customers?
So again, I have a huge cross section of people. Lots are NRIs. Yes, during the season they come in, but once again, the final decision is the woman. She does the shopping. She does the choosing. I've seen a lot of the new trend is that the guy will wait till the women's clothes are all decided, and then he invariably wants to match or complement that scheme. You have to play it safe being a man in this industry.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
you do get the oddball coming in who's got the spirit and the gumption to say, hey, listen, to hell with all of you.
Yeah.
AK, you do what you feel works on me.
Yeah.
Which are my favorite type of client that come in.
Yeah.
Who knows what he wants.
Yeah.
He knows his colors. He knows his silhouette, and is happy to leave the rest to me.
Yeah. But give me a sense of how has this moved? Have you, from the number of requests you used to get, say, 20 years back to today, has that increased? And which countries are you getting these requests from?
Most of these NRIs, I would say, between the USA, UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, I would say predominantly those.
Okay.
And I would say, yes, requests are more theme based. And as I said, obviously matching the ladies in the family, um, going by whatever theme has been decided for the wedding or for the particular function in the wedding. Could be a Sangeet, could be a cruise night, could be, and most of these weddings happen to be destination weddings
Right.
today.
Right.
So invariably, there's some sort of a theme attached to each one of these. My job is to fit you right and make you look like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
However, but yes, it has changed. It's the whole wedding scene. The wedding scene has become an industry, which is
course.
in some ways bigger than the fashion industry, and they complement each other. So I think it's a bit of both.
Of course, the Amani wedding was the biggest example that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
fashion wedding is such a big industry.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, that your style is masculine, bold, yet very refined. How does Arjun Khanna define his style?
Well, my personal style, I'd say effortless, free.
I can see that.
I don't think it's about the clothes. I think the clothes need to
Yeah.
complement you.
Yeah.
If I'm in a mood to wear a suit, that's it, and wear a suit here
Yeah.
with you and talk the same way that I would be sitting in shorts and a t-shirt and talking to you. So clothes to me are an accent. Clothes are an accessory. But the AK style, or what my label stands for, I would say impeccable finish. I'm a complete neurotic stickler for fine finesse in tailoring, finish. My garment should be as beautiful to touch, look, and fit if you flipped it inside out and wore it upside down. My lining has to be as gorgeous as the outside. My tailoring has to be impeccable. My finish has to be better than whatever the hell you want to compare it to. That to me is the biggest challenge every single day.
Amazing.
There are layers that go in between the lining and the outside layer. We call them fusibles in layman's term. Every single fusible changes depending on the type of body type that I'm dressing at that moment. So I think the construction of the garment is what excites me every single day. So yes, Arjun Khanna stands for fine tailoring with finesse, with finish, with cleanliness, with a twist. And there will always be something quirky in that garment.
Yeah.
What that is, I'd love the wearer to go in and say, you need to walk out with that little smile. Hey, that's really cool. It's a black suit. No. Look inside, there's red inside. Look at the cuff, there's blue with red, something. Or there'll be a little message. There's always something quirky in there. Look at my garment. You want to smell it
Yeah.
before you wear it. You want to stare at it, probably sit down, have a drink, looking at that garment, get into it, then have another drink. It's about the experience of Arjun Khanna.
Yeah.
It's not about just buying something off the rack, paying the bill, and walking out. Then it's impersonal.
Yeah.
I want it to be, and this is what I meant earlier to answer the earlier question. I have a lot of clients coming and saying, you know what, I still wear that suit that you made for me, I don't know, 20 years ago or 15 years ago. And I maintain, if you don't change your size, that garment, I guarantee, will fit you like a dream and only get better. And if you know about suit making, when you first do a bespoke suit, the more you wear it, the more it takes your shape. If it's a well-made or well-tailored suit, it takes your body shape, it takes your form, which most people don't understand.
Very interesting.
So I apply that to a sherwani, I apply that to a bandgala, I apply that to a kurta, to a bandi, to whatever the hell we do.
Perhaps I'm giving you too many compliments today, but I did
You've
the
been
same thing with
awfully kind.
with the coffee you served me. That coffee was amazing. I smelled it before I had it. And
Yes.
I love my coffee.
Thank
That
you,
was great.
same here.
So I'm going to change gears and talk about, you've dressed lots of celebrities, including a lot of cricketers. So first, going back in time and looking at our film industry, which decade or era would you say was the most well-dressed?
Again, a tough one. I mean, India is all about Bollywood and cricket,
Yeah.
and that's never going to change, and that's lovely. However, I would say the most iconic time in my life would possibly be when I saw Sholay, and I have to say Amitabh Bachchan. I mean, he was an icon then. He's a demigod today. I've never seen such an iconic figure through so many timelines, still with that presence, that aura. I mean, he's still selling Ambuja cement today.
Correct.
And he started off as Sholay, that dynamic voice, that dynamic diction, that dynamic speech delivery.
Yeah.
And I think he was iconic in many ways. He is I would say the only star who managed to show off bell bottoms with those lanky legs of his. Every kind of collar that came in fashion during his decade or his time, he's managed to carry off and show off. From the 70s right into today. So from a bob collar to a cutaway collar to a suit collar to an arrow collar, I think Bachchan sir has done everything and shown it off with, I don't know, effortless
Great
ease.
aplomb.
Yeah, complete. So I would say that era pretty much.
Okay.
Then of course I would say Shami Kapoor. I think he's been our Elvis of Indian Bollywood,
Yeah.
literally, if there is any such thing.
Yeah. And out of all these decades you mentioned, which film star would have had the most impact on the masses as well? That masses copied that film star so much. How does it work? Does
You know, again, I would say if you're talking about the masses, I would say Bachchan. I mean,
Okay.
every single barber, every single hairstylist would have Amitabh Bachchan's face with his sideburns on every single bus,
Correct.
show window, barber window, darzi window. You want to dress like Bachchan, you want to look like Bachchan, the hairstyle is Bachchan. It was Amitabh all the way. So I would say he would be the most iconic star that made that sort of mark. I don't think the stars of today do that. There are plenty which are phenomenally huge today, but as that batch of an era, I think it's Bachchan all the way, literally.
Yeah. I mean, I would completely agree with you.
Yeah.
And have you personally had a chance to work with Mr. Bachchan?
I've had the absolute honor to actually interact with him. Again, not for a film, to do a personal wardrobe. I can't remember exactly when. And I must say, it was just, you know, if you talk about star presence, or you say there was an aura you felt around, and he is one man. I felt it.
Yeah.
You felt it. And I'm not a starstruck sort of guy. But you felt you're sitting amongst a star.
It's amazing you're saying all of these things because, first of all, this is 50 years of Sholay.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
on 15th August 2025, Sholay is going to turn 50.
Yes.
And I coincidentally interviewed Mr. Ramesh Sippy yesterday.
Oh, fantastic.
And we
Again,
discussed Sholay.
iconic. Yeah.
And very iconic gentleman himself. I mean, very audacious gentleman.
Yeah.
It seems you were pretty audacious as well.
Thank you. Yeah, you've
Started
been
this track.
awfully kind to me today. Go back and like really have that drink.
Staying back on the celebrity track, what about some cricketers? Have you worked with some cricketers? Because, you know, like you said, cricket and Bollywood are the two things.
Yes.
Indians are obsessed across the world.
Absolutely. So again, I mean, I think I've been fortunate enough, very lucky to have dressed the entire cricket team both times during the two World Cups that we won. I did all the team blazers. This project came through BCCI at the time because I was really into tailoring and fine tailoring at that time, and still am. I got a chance to actually do the entire team blazer for the entire cricket team, both times during Dhoni's time and Sachin's time.
Amazing.
So it was again fantastic. It was a one-on-one deal, very interactive. And when you actually talk to these guys, it's just beautiful. I mean, they're like regular guys here.
Yeah. Give me some examples. Did you work with, say, Dhoni?
So, example,
with
Dhoni. I
Sachin?
mean, Dhoni. We did everything. We talked about everything, but cricket. Strangely, and we found so much in common. I mean, I was wearing cargo pants at the time. He's massively into cargo. I love vintage biking and, you know, collecting and restoration of
He's a bike
motorbikes.
maniac.
He's a complete biker.
Correct.
And all this we discovered, it unfolded during conversation. You know, so yeah, I mean, moments like this. I mean, Harbhajan, great sense of humor,
Yeah.
hysterical guy. I wasn't able to do one fitting without just cracking up with laughter. Such a down to earth guy. I mean, with him also, I had the occasion of dressing him up. Once again, I did a bandgala for an ad campaign that he was doing. But all in all, just wonderful experiences here.
Yeah. All of these were personal. Have you done some work in the film industry?
So very, very early, no, nothing of major consequence. But however, lots of work for personal stars, and I'm proud because they've connected with me because of the tailoring.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of work recently for Amir when his daughter got married. Did some clothes for him. Like this, just personal clothing. I mean, nothing for film.
Yeah, it's one of the things you can definitely start doing, and I'm just reflecting on it while I'm speaking to you for NRI audiences.
Absolutely.
So it'll be great to have you on a regular basis on Connected to India.
Well,
and tell
today-
guys, this season, this is what you should be wearing for men,
Would love to.
especially.
But again, as I said, you know, it's something that has to come, for me, it has to be organic.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about the business of fashion. It's about the love for clothing for me. So yeah, I mean, it's very organic for me in terms of growth.
I want to ask you a question on contemporaries, and is there a lot of competition amongst fashion designers?
As you said earlier, it's the business of fashion today.
Yeah.
There is competition. Of course, there's competition. And I think any business in any industry, without competition, there's no growth.
Yes.
And it's healthy, it's lovely, and it's also a bit of a rat race.
Yeah.
I've kind of stayed clear from all that. I pretty much paved my own way. I do my own thing. But yes, there is a lot of competition. And
No, when I say competition, it's like, when you play a round of golf, if you get too bothered about how the other player is playing, it messes you up.
absolutely,
So you got to play your own game.
Yes.
So, and pretty much the track which you have, right? You
So
play your own game and you keep.
I've pretty much played my own game, rightly said, very aptly said. I've almost just not bothered about what's going on in the industry.
Right.
I'm really enjoying myself. I have, as I said, if I don't wake up in the morning and come in longingly or looking forward to something, then it's not worth it. I have no interest in the rest of what's going on.
Would you, name some of the contemporaries whose work you say, okay, this is good, well done?
So obviously, one guy that I've always admired, big loss to the industry, is I'm going to say it straight out, is Rohit Bal, buddy of mine, fantastic. He was a true artist. He loved what he did as well. Again, it wasn't about the business of fashion for him. It happened by default.
Yeah.
So I'd say him, pretty much.
And Rohit is also the guy who brought a lot of people into the world of fashion,
So
got
he-
people interested in
He was
fashion.
one of the first guys when I came in. I came in over one of these Christmas breaks. I wasn't meant to come in and start a career in fashion. I started with Ensemble. And after Tarun Talyani, Rohit Bal was the first guy I actually met. And I said, wow, there's a senior. And I used to watch this program on Network East on BBC. I was studying in London at the time. And there was a little program that covered Ensemble. It was the first boutique fashion boutique that opened in India. Again, iconic brand that opened. And I was fortunate enough to meet this bunch. And I started there, which is round the corner from here.
Thanks, Arjun. That was great. Now we come to an interesting part of the interview, which is a rapid fire. So I'm going to start with your most well-dressed client.
Oh gosh, there's so many. Please don't kill me, guys, for that. I'd say Saif Ali Khan.
Okay. Most well-dressed cricketer.
I'd say Dhoni.
One person.
When he was wearing Arjun Khanna.
Of course. One person you would have loved to dress, deceased.
I had a fantastic interaction with Pierce Brosnan when he came down
Wow.
for the launch of Omega watches. Sadly, we didn't end up dressing him because there was a change in plan. Again,
But you would have loved to dress
rest his soul, I would have loved to dress him.
Yes.
He's not deceased.
Yes. That's fantastic.
But again, iconic.
Biggest regret, if any?
None.
Most important lesson?
I'm learning every day, like I humbly said. I'm learning every single day and the strive to learn. I haven't learned them yet. I keep making the same mistakes again and again.
Sorry for asking so many questions around deceased and all that. If there was a last piece of garment you would be designing, what would that be?
A Type 1 denim jacket, which is iconic. And the first guys who actually made that was Levi Strauss and Company.
Do you have one?
My love, no, I don't have that here, but I collect a lot of vintage denim. So denim is my first love. So that I would do a denim jacket. And today, possibly in Japanese denim.
And where would you host that show?
Probably the Gateway of India or Mehrangarh Fort.
One myth about fashion that you actually believe in?
Well, if I believe in it, it's not a myth. But I would say fashion is, to me, escapist. Fashion is to get out of the mundane. So it should be something that's unattainable, escapist, it's surreal.
How interesting.
So it's mythical at the same time, but it's the truth. I mean, if you wore everyday clothes, then no, it's not fashion.
Correct. One mistake most men commit when it comes to fashion?
Oh gosh, I could write a book on these. There are many mistakes that most men make. But I would say the biggest one, which is now changing, is that horrible white sock that they wear like a school uniform with everything. Why? Just get rid of it.
One underlooked aspect?
I would have said grooming earlier, but today I'm loving the way that's changing amongst men. Fine grooming.
One, what is India missing in terms of having brands like Gucci, Armani, and Louis Vuitton?
I think they're all here. We're not missing them.
No, in the sense
I think
that-
we're a larger audience globally today, sort of playing with those brands.
I meant to say, India having an Arjun Khanna at that level. At Gucci, Armani.
I think that's also happening. Today, look at the Sabyasachi phenomenon.
Yeah.
So I think that's happening as well. I mean, you've got brands like Reliance and Birla already doing the same thing. So I think that's also here.
Yeah. Who's one fashion designer in India who's going to carry the legacy of Arjun Khanna? And
One
to watch
fashion
out for.
designer.
Yeah. And to
Wow.
watch out for.
Carry the legacy of Arjun Khanna. I hate to even think of it being a legacy because I'm still alive and I still want to do it. I probably should be me. I mean, I want to
Fantastic.
carry my own legacy forward.
I'm sure.
At
Good
least
luck
till
to
I'm
you.
able. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Good luck to you, Arjun, and thank you very much for hosting us in your amazing store
Thank
and
you.
for this conversation.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so
It was
much.
really kind and well thought out and beautifully asked questions. Thank you. Thanks,
you.
Himanshu.
Cheers.
It was fantastic. Thank you.